tutorial, I guess. So you just installed Pavlov, you're completely new to the game. Maybe you have some experience in Counter-Strike or other shooters of said genre. Well, Pavlov is in VR, so it is a weird learning curve. So I'm going to go through what the tutorial doesn't go through. So when you first open up the game, you'll be greeted by the Pavlov menu screen. Now, don't click on play online immediately, because you won't know what the heck to do. What you want to do is click tutorial. And I know what you're thinking. Tutorials are boring and lame, so I'm about to do the tutorial.
Pavlov tutorial. To use the radio, place your hand near your ear and hold the trigger.
So, to use a radio, like what you just said, is to put your hand where, like, say you're, you know, sneaking around. You're like a kid. You're pretending to use a walkie-talkie. So you pull the trigger by the side of your head. This is Alpha Bomb.
Clicking your movement joystick while pressing forward. Make sure to keep your weapon lowered.
So I'm on Oculus. This should be
the
the
buy menu. Click in the thumbstick with your dominant hand.
Okay, I'm going to go back on the sprint thing. So if you're on Oculus or Index, you push down on the joystick to sprint on your left hand. Now if you're lefty, it's swapped. Now for Vive, point your weapon down while running, or holster your weapon completely. Now, you can sprint by holding your gun at such an angle where you can easily snap up and shoot someone, so always remember that. Next is a buy menu, which is down on the Vive controller and pushing down on the joystick on the Index and Oculus. Now here you got your categories.
Keep your thumbstick centered and press it.
Alright, so here's where I'll go in depth. Under heavy, you have a sawed-off, pump shotty, a Spaz 12, the Sega 12 drum shotty, M249, and dear God, don't peek the sight line. Under SMGs, we got Uzi, MP5, okay, you know, the standard stuff. Now, gear is where the most important stuff is. Unlike in Counter-Strike, what's it called? Casual, you won't be able to start off with armor. So if you're playing Search and Destroy, which I don't recommend if you're first starting the game, buy armor at the start of a round. And then you also got consumables like grenades, smokes, and flashbangs. You can only hold 3 of them at once, like 3 grenades, 3 flashes, or 1 of each. Pistols, you got pistols. Upgrade, now here's the cool part. Under upgrade tab, you could actually put attachments on your gun.
Hold Y and trigger with your non-dominant hand.
Well, this is easy.
To close the main menu, proceed through the open doors to continue. Place your dominant hand over the weapon on your hip and press grip to equip your secondary.
So another good thing to remember, grip is to grab.
On your hip and hold trigger to grab a magazine.
Grip is to grab. Now, if you want a magazine, pull trigger. Not grip, because gripping here would whip out your knife, and then you'd start jamming your knife into there, then you drop your knife, and now you don't have a knife, because Dave thought it was a good idea to, you know, remove buying knives completely from a game.
Place the magazine into the weapon. Grip
now,
the charging handle with your offhand grip the weapon with your offhand to stay.
Now,
the targets to continue.
Common mistake is new players like one-handing. Okay, Dave.
Shoot all the targets to continue.
Now, after... Oh, really?
Grip the weapon with your offhand. Shoot all the targets to continue. Release grip to drop your weapon.
Now, another thing is, if you press the, what button is that? I can't see because it's dark in here. Any Hoosers, but there's a mag release button. Now, some guns don't actually use it, like the AK, the AK-12, etc. And the M249, they don't use the mag release button. You have to manually grab the mag out and then reload it. Now, some guns, after you're empty, like the M4 and UMP and MP5, when you're out of ammo, the bolt... I can't rack it back. Okay. The bolt locks back. So, yeah.
Place your dominant hand over your shoulder and press grip to grab your primary.
So if you ever played Boneworks...
Over your ammo pouch on your hip and hold trigger. Place the magazine in.
So,
the target second.
Look what happens once I mag dump here. The bolt locks back. So when I drop the mag using the mag button and put it back in, I can't shoot because the bolt is open. You can rack it back like I just did there, or you could press the mag release button again to hit the bolt release. Alright.
Proceed through the open doors to continue.
Alright, so this is the grenade section.
With your
Don't throw grenades at your teammates. That's all I have to say. Don't
press grip to release the grenade while throwing it.
Another useful tip.
Place your hand over the grenade pin. Press grip to
is
release the
they
grenade
have the
while
fuse
throwing
of
it.
5 seconds.
Place your hand over. Press grip to release the grenade while throwing it. Place your hand over the. Proceed through the open doors to continue.
Now here's where the search and destroy aspect kicks
To arm
in.
the bomb, enter the digits that are displayed in the top left corner using your hand.
So if you're a traitor in search and destroy, terrorist, you have to plant a bomb. Now bomb sites, if you ever played Counter-Strike or I think Call of Duty they have those, but there's these areas where you can plant a bomb. Now you can't just type in the numbers, put the bomb on the ground, and boom, bomb has been planted. Because then you could just type in the numbers, yeet the bomb into the bomb site, and then get to a good position. What you need to look for is these bomb silhouettes. So you type in the 4 numbers using your pointing finger. You can't use your thumb. You go boop, boop, boop,
To
boop.
plant the bomb.
Now,
to defuse the bomb, enter the code displayed in the top left
on
corner.
the top left corner,
Purchase
there's
pair
a
of clippers
button
from
there.
the buy menu and clip the wires.
You press those buttons on the D-pad here to defuse a bomb. Or if you have this, clippers, at the very top, you can't just, and it'll clip, you have to hold trigger and it'll snip them. And then
Now
the
you're
bomb
ready
is
for battle.
defused.
Press grip on the door handle to head back to the shooting range and work on your aim.
Dave, we're not ready for battle. So, welcome to the shooting range. You could actually interact with the buttons here, press stuff. There's grenades. And guns. Now, what I recommend is just, fondle the guns a little bit before actually getting into the game. Now, guns. Right here we got the AUG. Now, the AUG is a good budget gun, but the only downside is slower fire rate. But this is evened out by the controllability of the recoil. Now, here's the upgrade feature I mentioned before. By opening up your buy menu and holding your gun in your dominant hand, you could actually put attachments on it. Now, the AUG, you can only put barrel and sight attachments, like a suppressor, a red dot, a hollow, or an 8 times, I think. I don't know, it's never been explicitly told what magnifier here it is, but you could upgrade guns. Now, most guns have a little quirk to them. Like the G3 has hard kicking recoil, but it comes with the scope. It's supposed to be a competitor to the AK, as it's more suitable for long range headshots, because it does one-shot headshot at range. Now, the Car 98 you can't buy in-game. You can only find it off dead people if they had it. Now, the Op has almost identical stats to the G3, which is sad because it was replaced by this thing, which I'll get at later. The Op is more of a show-off thing. It's like, hey, I killed you with an Op. How does that make you feel? Now, you could actually use the Op to great extent when using a scope by keeping both eyes open, and you could spam it faster than the G3 if you want to do that. Don't recommend it. Now, this thing right here, this is literally everything you want punched in the face, manifested in a gun. Jesus Christ, I love this thing. This is the 50 cal. Now, reloading it. Most people don't know where charging handles are on guns. Well, this one's painfully obvious. After firing a shot, you rack back the bolt, and you drop this massive 50 cal round right into the chamber, close it, and you're ready to fire. How did I miss that? Hey, Hoosers. Yes, most guns are bolt action, like the Op and Car 98. Now, the Car 98 doesn't have a droppable magazine. You load it from the top. SMG is good for saving. They also can do this. If you ever bought a spaz, you notice, hey, I can't aim down the sight. The stock and hook are blocking my sight line, so I have to hip fire it. Well, if you ever seen Jurassic Park, you should know that velociraptors are clever girls, and you might need to quietly pull back the stock. Now, to do that, you don't press grip, or else you'll grab the front end of the gun. You just pull the trigger, and you'll be able to flop around the stock like your limp hot dog after being out in the sun for too long. Yes. Now, pistols act the same as the AR. You press a mag release button, they drop, but here's a nice thing about them. You know when you're out of ammo, so when you're firing away at your enemy, it locks back. Now, you drop the mag, and you press the mag release again to close it. Or, you could power stroke it, but you eject around sometime, which is weird. And the Tech 9 is one of those weird quirks where it's like an AK pocket eyes. Oh, yes, M249. M249. To reload the thing, slap up the dust cover by holding trigger, not grip, because nothing happens. Trigger, you pull down the box, you put in a new box, you just slap in there, well bam. You pull the chain up by using trigger, because if you accidentally pull trigger down here, you grab the box, you have to do everything over again. You put the bullet chain on top, close the dust cover, and then rack back the slide. And you're ready to mag dump some poor people with a LMG. Now I'm about to show everything I just taught you in practice in a deathmatch game. Now in deathmatch, you spawn with a random gun. You can buy a gun, because you'll, most of the time, it's so you can buy a gun and just say, hey, now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho.
No, pero paila, Ale, si lo maté, no.
So yeah, you can pull off stuff like that with a shotgun. If you want to be quick, use an SMG. dish out a lot of damage, but only at close range. And yes, you'll die a lot. That's normal. Now, if you want a precise fire, you can buy an AK, or volume of fire, buy an M4. It all depends on how you want to play. If you want precision, you got the AK. Now go out there and kill people, I guess. Hit a fat dab? Okay.
Hotkeys enabled.
Wait, what? There we go. Ooh. Oh, yes, that leaves me on another important note. What game should you join online when you first play? Now, you could play zombies, TTT. Don't play Search and Destroy on your first game. Trust me, you don't want to. You will get absolutely destroyed. Try Deathmatch, or maybe even TTT. Ask people their tips and tricks. Like, ooh, gun game's another good way to start, because then you get used to the guns to use. And I am going to do stuff. And thanks for watching my tutorial. I will be uploading this to YouTube. And everyone watching on Twitch, thank you. And hi, Haza.